On to Michigan State. Obviously a really, really good team. They've just lost, obviously 2 games on the road, which is very, very hard. In that Indiana game a lot of it was free throw shooting, but they're very, very talented, obviously well coached. So we've got our hands full, but excited about the opportunity.
How have they changed without Langford?
Well, I mean, he hasn't played. He's missed a lot of games. So I don't know if they've substantially changed. They won a lot of games without him. He's a good player, can score the ball, can shoot it. They get a little bit younger because of his absence, but they're still old in a lot of spots as well.
Obviously, with Cassius Winston, the way he was playing when Langford was out was probably on the level of a Big Ten Player of the Year level. What challenges does he present?
He's like rock solid at everything. He's kind of that pure point guard mold, can score, doesn't turn the ball over, tough, winner, seasoned veteran. He just kind of checks all those boxes.
What are you trying to do when the shots aren't falling?
What am I trying to do? Pray, go to church. I don't know. We go inside a lot. We do. It's got to be a point of emphasis on taking good shots. We've got to just continue to rep it out in the gym because there's guys that aren't shooting a great percentage. But, it's just keep giving them confidence and just keep putting an emphasis on taking the right shots.
With Brock Stahl, I know that last time he played Wisconsin, he had a couple threes. I think since then he might not have hit one. But do you look to him maybe?
Yeah, I need to look to him a little bit more because he can shoot it, especially with that's something we were just talking about. So I do think that he needs to get a little bit more time. But Dupree obviously is not shooting the ball well, but he gives a lot of other things besides shooting. He defends, he plays hard, he's 100% fully invested. He's won in this league before. So it's I don't know if there's one answer to it. But yeah, I think Brock needs to play a little bit more.
How deep do you dig into a guy's shot if it's struggling? Do you look at the last 50 shots they've taken and just try to get to the bottom of it? Well,
I think it's shot selection. We've won games in this league in the 80s. So it's not like we're totally inept offensively. We've scored 80-something on Nebraska. It's a very good defense. Iowa. Now I'm trying to think of who else, but Illinois, who are good defenses. So we have put up those points. It's just a matter of where they're taking the shots, when they're taking the shots.
Eric, was it a carryover from Purdue with that calf?
Probably a little bit, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
And obviously, Daniel has been pretty good since his shoulder injury. With his interior scoring, how much does that take pressure off of some of the outside shooting?
It's important. He could score, and he at times makes it look easy. And I think that he's beneficiary of Murphy out there. So we'll continue to look to him. I think we go inside a lot, and we'll continue to do that.
In the first half against Wisconsin, was the defensive effort from Daniel kind of what you expect to see all the time?
Well, it's hard to do that on Hap. And I think he learned a valuable lesson versus Purdue because he wasn't great there, physicality-wise and defensively he wasn't very good. But he learned from it and got a lot better versus Wisconsin. So hopefully that's a step forward in the right direction. Freshmen are very, very hard defensively, physically, rebounding the ball. They're not normally very good. But he took a step forward, so hopefully he continues to do that.
What's impressed you about Daniel offensively?
I'm sorry?
What's impressed you about Daniel offensively?
Well, I think versus Purdue, his jump shot was pretty impressive. Just those mid-range jumpers were really good. He's got good patience. He jump stops around the rim, gets to the other side a lot. He's really, really skilled. He's going to be a special player, and his offensive skill set is terrific. It's just learning all the other things.
Coach, can I assume that confidence level-wise, you're probably pretty high in the fact that you played well against Michigan, you played well against Wisconsin. You might not be winning these games, but you're right there. When you face a team like Michigan State, can I safely assume you can just build on those experiences?
Yeah, it's hard to win on the road in this league. It's hard to win anywhere. it's hard to beat a team twice. I think we saw that when we played Illinois and, Wisconsin. Are those the only two teams we've played twice? Yeah. So, it's difficult. And we've got to, when we play Michigan and Purdue and Maryland, obviously we got to make it difficult for them. But as for Michigan State, every game is a different challenge. I think that we're playing well, but we're not shooting the ball well. And that makes for a lot of challenges for a head coach because guys equate playing well to shooting the ball well and scoring the ball well. I think there's things that we're doing well. I think defensively versus Wisconsin, offensively we weren't good, but we held them to 56 points. We did a good job on certain guys. But there's still, the name of the game is winning. And we're on a 2-game losing streak, so we just got to scratch and claw to see if we get a road win.
Kind of off the beaten path here, but did you soften the so-called Twitter ban this year on your team?
Yeah, I'm not doing it, so that's the definition of softening. I don't know if they really care as much about Twitter as they do Instagram and things like that, and I'm a big believer in rules that you can really, really police. I don't like rules that may be a little bit irrelevant, and I don't know if these guys care about Twitter as much anymore. I think they're on Snapchat and Instagram. So I think that had a lot to do with it. I think that guys have become much more sophisticated with Twitter than in the past. I think everybody's starting to learn from it a little bit, what it is.
When you first started coaching, did you ever look at the other bench and go, wow, this guy is, I'll say, a legendary coach, and now that you've done it for so long, do you just look at it and go, I put in my time, and now I can basically judge my work against theirs and hopefully see where your career path goes?
Well, I mean, if you're referring to Tom Izzo, I've got great respect for him. He's a coach's coach. He's a good guy, somebody I look up to. But yeah, that whole kind of off factor's gone away a little bit. After being in the league for 6 years, I believe humbly that put myself up against any of them, and they're all great coaches and great programs. But you learn something from every coach in this league when you're scouting and you're preparing, and that's never going to stop. So I've got great admiration for Coach Izzo and a lot of coaches in this league.
Do you expect Eric to play?
I don't know. We took off yesterday, so we'll reevaluate today. All righty. See ya.